actually, but it's like preaching to the converted, really, isn't it? So I hope it doesn't bore you. Anyway, here we go. Glasses on, sorry. So nervous. Anyway, when I was young, many years ago, to me, and I think most people of my generation, and possibly of my parents' and grandparents' generation too, hate and diversity seemed to have no meaning at all. By which I mean it was commonplace to hate someone, be it your neighbour, the foreigner, the black man down the street, or the old lady or old gentleman who took exception to you riding your bike past their front door, the village gay, the lesbian, the brave transsexual who dared venture out in public, the disabled person, or anyone else who through their lifestyle, religious beliefs, sexuality, or simply because of their looks, and who through no fault of their own, did not fit into what was then seen at the time as a norm, could expect at one time or another to suffer hate and loathing at the hands of the ignorant masses. There were no laws or rules against hate like there are today. Indeed, looking back on the days of my youth, I think the media felt that it was their mission to glorify hate, with many television shows that made fun of or ridiculed the less fortunate in society, from the disabled to the black man or the gay man and beyond, and the magazines and newspaper articles that reeked of hate, who seemed to give out the message that hate was good, or the many foul-mouthed comedians at the time who made their names and money by insulting and humiliating others, all in the name of comedy.
I can't listen quite so fast.
I will slow down. However, these are only a few of the examples I can give you about how things were in my youth, and those of you who, like myself, have seen better days will know exactly what I mean. But things have changed. Hate is wrong. It was wrong then as it is now, and it did have a meaning. Hate destroyed not only people's confidence, but in a lot of cases their lives, forcing them to live their lives in misery and fear, often destroying their quality of life and their very future itself. Now, even though, for most of my life, I have suffered hate and prejudice of one kind or another, though surprisingly, very little for being bisexual or transgender, I have to admit that in the past I have had cause to hang my head in shame, for I was part of my generation that knew no better. But I have long since learned how wrong hate is, and that there is no place for it in today's society, a message that I know Norfolk is listening to and acting upon. Some time ago, before I became full-time transgender, I used to wear nail varnish all the time. And I recall a time when I was in McDonald's with a friend. A woman came and sat next to us, and after a while she asked me, why the nails? I simply looked at her and answered, because I can. At the time, I did not realise the significance of my words, but they have been part of my journey ever since. Because apart from the need I have to be myself, today I can be myself. But this is not of my doing, for I have done nothing that has given me this freedom. Instead, I owe a great debt not only to the police and their diversity teams in enforcing the laws of this land, but to people like those of Hate-Free Norfolk who work tirelessly and have given their time for free to help make Norfolk and beyond hate-free. To the people who organise such events as Pride in Norfolk and across the country, and the people not only singing the Pride choir here in Norwich, but also support it, as well as the countless other events and organisations not only here in Norwich and Norfolk, but across the country, that are dedicated to making our dreams of hate-free Norfolk and beyond a reality. But the people I feel I owe the greatest debt to are the people of Norfolk themselves. For it is they who will carry the message of today to their friends and neighbours, their children and their children's children, and beyond Norfolk, that hate is not a necessity of life. As I have said, it seems to me that I have suffered from hate and prejudice in one way or another for a large part of my life. Sometimes this has left me feeling scared, alone and vulnerable. Sometimes it has made me angry and withdrawn. But I have never bowed down to hate or accepted it. This is because I've always known that tomorrow will be a better day. A day like today when the people of Norfolk will stand up and say enough is enough. From my point of view, Norfolk is a good place to live. However, I cannot speak from the perspective of anyone else other than myself as a transgender person. Nor would I be so disrespectful as to try. And even though we experience hate in many different ways, and possibly in different sectors of the community, there are still many similarities as to what we have to endure. For some, this is on a daily basis, but we are all in this fight together. I also believe that events such as this give us the opportunity to reflect on when we personally realised that hate was unacceptable. And if we know of someone who has not yet realised how wrong hate is and the damage it does, when will that day come? And what will it take for them to realise they are wrong and play their part in making Norfolk hate-free, so we can all live in a truly diverse society? Again there. Whenever I'm out, either in Norwich or elsewhere, and I meet someone who acts towards me in a hateful or transphobic manner, I always challenge them and ask why, but I have yet to receive a well-balanced, coherent or intelligent answer, and I guess I never will. Hate affects everyone, from the young to the old, the disabled to the able-bodied, the black man to the white man, the so-called straight person to the gay person, to the ethnic minorities, and beyond, from the perpetrator to the victim. It encompasses all walks of life, from the rich to the poor, to the empowered and the oppressed. It is a disease that can separate friend from friend, sister from sister, brother from brother, child from parent, neighbour from neighbour. It can split communities and leave the vulnerable isolated and feeling suicidal and alone. But with the help of organisations like Hate Free Norfolk, this disease can be eradicated and Norfolk can be a shining beacon to the rest of the world. I know this can be so because the people I see in front of me now believe it too. Thank you for listening and giving me this platform to say my piece. But may I just add that people who practice hate and deny diversity are just cowards and bullies, and do so out of ignorance and stupidity, because they want a reaction out of you. I say, if you're a victim of hate or bullying, or know of someone who is, give those who practice hate and deny diversity a reaction, and report it to the police, who will knock on their door. This may not be the reaction they seek, but it will be the reaction they deserve. Finally, I would like to leave you with this thought. It is a sad reflection on humanity when it takes laws of the land, either here or overseas, and organisations like Hate Free Norfolk, to name but just one, to make people understand how wrong hate and prejudice is. For hate is the easiest emotion to conjure up, but the hardest to justify. I thank you for listening.